We normally start off with the beginning of the month Zoom demonstration, which are weekly follow-up companion pieces, which is via text, and then mid-month blog by our ELAR department, and then end of the month of the supplemental video. You can use the QR code on the screen to subscribe to the weekly activities or visit our RISD Parent University website. So just want to welcome you again. This is our last semester for the last session for the semester. We're super excited that you're here with us today. So remember, this is our last session for this semester, and we'll be going over phonics and spelling. I'm Nikadria Johnson, just to introduce myself. And I'm so excited you're here to learn today. So we're going to get started. So our objective today is to empower parents with useful tools to help build early literacy skills with their emergent readers. We will also foster rich discussions about language and reading at home. So the intended outcome for today is for you to understand how to use phonics skills to build spelling. So here we've been showing our good reader chart throughout our sessions this year, and we have reached the last component of reading skills your child needs to develop into an effective reader and writer. Today, our topic is phonics and spelling. So I will give you information and some tips you can use at home to help your child. Successful readers and writers rely on letter sound knowledge, spelling patterns, and word parts to read and write familiar and unfamiliar words. We'll be discussing phonics today, the connection between letters and sounds. So this is some important vocabulary words that I wanted to review and introduce some important vocabulary words before we get started today. I discussed phonemes in our last session, which is a small unit of sound. Our new vocabulary is grapheme, is a written letter or group of letters that represent a sound. And then syllable. A syllable is a unit of sounds with one vowel. Let's get started. I love talking about phonics. Phonics is a building block for spelling. In our past sessions, we discussed your child, hearing the sounds is the first step for an emergent readers to read and write. Phonics is the next part of this process because sounds heard will be matched to graphemes, which are our letters, to spell words. There are around 250 grapheme combinations that your child will learn with phonics instruction at school and exposure to words while reading books with you at home. Phonics knowledge is needed to understand the sounds in words to spell. This is an excellent visual for you to understand the process of hearing, because we have our sounds, our phonemes at the top, which that's the auditory skills we've talked about in the past, matching them to the graphemes to write. So we say the sounds of spoon, and then we write the word spoon. Phonics is all about writing the phonemes we hear. My goal today is to share tools that can help your child write the graphemes they hear. So parent as a teacher tip. This is a great tool to use to help your child spell words. Your child will tap the phonemes with their fingers. Ask your child to say the word, tap each phoneme with their fingers, and then write the graphemes heard. So if you look, as you can see on the screen, the word mat has 3 phonemes. A, t. So you'll say mat. We'll tap it. A, t. Say it, and then read it, map. Let's practice a few words together. Say the word bus. Tap bus. B, s. Write it. B, U, S. Then read the word bus. If you need if you notice your child miss a phoneme in the word bus, you will tap the phonemes with your child again. B, s. And then have them go back, B, U, S, to check for each phoneme. Here's your second word. Say the word pull. Tap the phonemes. Ooh. Now you will write it. P, U, L. If your child writes the word pull as P, U, L, you can say, did you know that pull has 2 L's instead of 1? That is something we have to remember by heart, because the beginning emergent writers writing words phonetically is exactly what you want your child to do. So just tell them about the extra L in pull. So a parent as a teacher tip, the second great tool that is used in school is very helpful is sound boxes. Each box represents a phoneme that your child will tap, then write the graphemes. The box can be easily drawn on a piece of paper or use a hard surface to tap the phoneme. You can also use anything in the house, such as cereal, beans, or pieces of small candy to push the phonemes in the box before writing. If you notice the dots at the bottom, that's where you would push those sounds in each box. So let's practice a few words, but we're going to use our hand as the surface to tap to practice. Say the word mop. Okay, tap it. Write it. M-O-P. M-O-P. So how many sounds did we hear and write in mop? I know you guys said 3. Yes, 3 sounds we wrote and tapped in mop. Let's practice another word. The word is run. Say run. Tap it. Write it. R-U-N. Okay. So you can use this sentence stem on the screen to help your child remember the steps of using the sound boxes and also tapping. So understanding phonics and the different combinations of sounds, we're going to talk about diagraphs. A diagraph is 2 sounds put together to make one unique sound. So the sounds must stay together to make that unique sound. Some examples of diagraphs are TH, which makes the Z sound, SH, sh, CH, WH, w, PH, and diagraph CK in the final position. The diagraph is represented as one sound when spelling and can be confusing for emergent spellers because most of the time a consonant sound will be written, for the diagraph. For example, the word that, they say that, and they tap it, they would spell it or say d, at, instead of writing at. You can tell your child the sound to help them out that the sound is digraph th. Eventually, your child will have control over the sounds. Remember, the key is to say the word, tap the sounds, and then write. So if we look at the screen, the word is chimp. Digraph ch is in one box because the letters must stay together to make one unique sound. So even if it was sh, it would be in one box when they're tapping out each sound. And your tip is, remember, a digraph blank makes one sound, so both of the letters are in one box. So they'll be able to make sure they don't separate the C and the H. Keep it as CH to make that ch sound. And blends is also important for you to understand. Blends are two separate sounds that can be blended together or separated. Young spellers struggle with hearing the second consonant when asked to segment orally. Remember, segmenting is saying the sound separately, each individual sound, or blending it together. For example, when children write or say the sounds in stop, you will often hear stop instead of st, because blend st can be blended together as st or separated into individual sounds as st. And when you blend it like st, that's where it's hard to hear. So using your sound boxes or your tapping skills will help your child hear the second consonant. Right. Syllables. So remember the progression of phonics is you hear the sounds, you write the graphemes that you hear. So this is the second progression of our phonics. A syllable is a unit of sounds with one vowel sound. Teaching syllables is a large part of phonics instruction at school to help students understand vowel sounds. Remember, it starts with hearing individual phonemes and progressing to syllables. Breaking words into syllables helps with your child hearing the vowel sound in each syllable. For example, cupcake has 2 syllables, the U in cup and the A in cake. Your child could tap the word cupcake, cup, the first syllable, up, then tap the word cake, a. So when they tap up, would write C-U-P, and then tap a, then they would write C-A-K. And then again, that's where you can say cupcake ends in an E. And then if you tap it and you write it, the word is cupcake. Checking to make sure that if there's any questions so far. So as a great way to help your child to hear syllables is by placing their hand under their chin as they say the word. You will count the number of times your chin drop to count the syllables. Okay, so you'll hand under your chin, when your chin drops, that's the syllable that you hear in a word. Okay, so let's practice. Say the word ball. Ball. How many times did your chin drop? Yes, one. How many syllables? The chin drop means that represents a syllable. That's right, one syllable in the word ball. So let's try another word. Say basketball. Hand under your chin. Basketball. How many syllables are in basketball? Yes, 2 syllables are in basketball. Our chin dropped at a and ah in basket and ball. This sentence stem, this is a sentence stem you can use at home. Just placing your hand under your chin to hear the syllables. Okay, the first syllable is closed syllable. Closed syllable are one vowel sound followed by a consonant, which makes the short vowel sound. As you can see on the screen, a apple, elephant, igloo, octopus, umbrella. Your child will identify the number of vowels in a word and then see if it has a consonant that follows. So a visual we like to use at school, the visual of a door helps your child see that the vowel, when the door is closed, the vowel is closed in with a consonant to make those short vowel sounds. So once that consonant follows that vowel, it makes the short vowel sounds. And on the screen, hat is a 1-syllable word, so it has one vowel, but it's followed by a consonant, so it says ah. But if we look over to a word that has multiple syllables, which we identify how many vowels, we see 2 vowels and of course our silent E. So, but when we put our hand on our chin and say cupcake, it shows that we have 2 syllables, cupcake. So that would be your U and your A. So the syllables also, before I move on to the next slide, the syllables are types that will help you understand phonics instruction and help your child spell multisyllabic words like, of course, like cupcake, and also big, larger words like instrument as they progress through their spelling. So the next syllable is an open syllable. Open syllables end in one vowel sound we see on the screen, which makes one vowel sound, which make long vowel sounds like in me and my in a 1-syllable word. Me and my is a 1-syllable word because it has one vowel. It is different in a word that has multiple syllables. The open syllable in the word, for example, silent, the open syllable can be at the beginning of the word or the end of a word. So if you see on the screen, I showed you where the syllable break would be when we say the word silent, silent, but that first syllable, sigh, that I says I, and that's what makes it open syllable in a 2-syllable word. And and Y. So the vowel is not closed in by a consonant. So we use the visual. The door is open because it's left open. It's not closed in by a consonant. So it says it's long vowel sounds like A, acorn, E, equal, I, ice, O, oval, U, unicorn. And then as we can see, Y also makes the long I or the long E sound in a word. The next syllable type is vowel consonant E. You can also say silent E syllable. It makes the long vowel sounds because of the silent E. Look at the word cake. It has one vowel followed by a consonant, then the silent E. So you ask your child to find the vowel, which we see the A in the word, and determine if it's followed by a consonant and an E. So we have A, it's followed by the consonant K, and then it has a silent E at the end. The silent E makes the A sound long. Checking to see if there's any questions for us right now. I don't see any. All right, so your open closed syllable that I've talked about, the open syllable we've discussed, and the vowel consonant E syllable. Kindergarten, your child will be introduced starting kindergarten, first and second grade for these syllable types. They're exposed in their writing, they're exposed in their phonics instruction, and so they'll also be exposed when they're reading their small books in school. Okay, so then the next syllable type, and remember syllable types are, the syllables are the word where the words, two vowel sounds were broken up in the vowel sounds. Is the vowel team. Vowel team syllables is two vowels put together to make one sound. So below is a list of common examples that you see of vowel teams, which there are many more. So we have AY, and it makes the A sound. We have EA, which makes the E sound. OE makes the O sound. And then EW makes the U sound. So the next syllable is R control syllable. And R control is a vowel that's followed directly by the R. And the controls by the R sound. So the vowel is silent and it says like in the shark, it says R. ER in fern says IR in bird says OR in corn is OR, and then UR in surf is Okay, so the vowel, the R controls the vowel sound. That's why it's called R control. And a one syllable word, like in bird, would just have that but if you notice on the other side, we have a two syllable word, starter, and I have the syllable break, starter. So we actually have two R control sounds in the word starter. In star, we have R, and then in the we have ER, which makes the sound. So that it can look different in the when there's multiple syllables. Any questions? Okay. All right. The final syllable type is consonant LE. Oh, excuse me, the vowel team and the R control syllable, your child will be exposed to that in the second grade. That comes in the second grade with the vowel team. So they'll have exposure of the closed, open, vowel consonant E, and then the vowel team and the R control in the second grade. So they'll have exposure to that by second grade. The consonant LE syllable, the consonant LE syllable is found at the end of the word. It is found in a 2-syllable word because the syllable, if you notice, if you look at turtle, is in the final position. Turtle, puzzle, so you would put tul, zul, and full. It's in the final position. And consonant LE, in the phonics instruction in school, begins in the 3rd grade. So they'll have control, they'll be exposed to all of these 5-syllable types before 3rd grade. So like I said, the phonics instruction will build that knowledge, the exposure of reading at home, reading in school, and writing will build the knowledge of the syllables. And of course, writing the graphemes to all the sounds they hear, okay? So now we're at spelling, and the key to spelling, having your child spell at home, is patience. Patience is the key to spell. So like as I said before, spelling phonetically, it takes patience and learning the different phonemes to match the graphemes, to learning diagraphs, how to blending sounds, then understanding syllables. It takes patience. Okay, the goal is for your child to write phonemes heard until acquiring the skills needed to spell the words correctly. Handwriting and spelling are essential for fluency of writing. It's like in our past sessions, we've talked about the fluency of reading. Handwriting and spelling is the fluency of writing. Decoding spelling words start with the graphemes heard and understanding the syllables. The syllables help with understanding parts of a word with vowel sounds. So when you're at home, please encourage writing. Encourage your child to write notes, list stories about what they've done through the day, family event, using what they know about sounds and letters. Remember that invented spelling is okay. Again, remember, just patience. The important thing about inventive spelling is that children are listening to sounds and using what they know to write the sounds they hear. And I've given you tools today, the tapping out the sounds, or using sound boxes, or tapping those on the table, pushing those sounds to help with that inventive spelling. And if you can't read what your child wrote, you can always, if you're not sure what your child wrote, have your child read their writing aloud to you. So then you will understand exactly what they were trying to communicate. I know that was a lot. We can go back through. It's time for questions. Phonics and spelling is a big part of our emergent writers. It'll take, like I said, patience, but I'm open for any questions at this time. See if you have any questions. Need me to clarify anything? Let's see. Give it a moment in case anyone have questions. Okay, Q&A. So how many syllables in candle? That is a wonderful question. So if we put our hands under our chin, if you say can, dull, remember consonant LE. So that consonant before the LE is a syllable. So can is one syllable because we have the ah sound, and then dull. So it's two syllables in the word candle. Great question. So just remember, whenever your chin drop, candle. So then can, and like kids, well, your child will start understanding that can is a closed syllable because there's one vowel followed by a consonant, and then consonant LE says dull in the final position. So then they'll start to see and hear those two syllables as they write. And even they're able to break that down and decode that when they're actually come across the word candle in a book. You can use the same skills that we are using, like to spell. You can use those same skills to write. You can have them identify the first vowel, which is A. Ask them they'll notice that it's followed by a consonant. They'll say ass or can. And then writing can, they'll start to see those word parts. So then they'll see can, oh, that's can. And then even if, you're reading with them, they're like, well, dull, like that says dull. So, but then again, we'll learn that through exposure of our reading and writing. Thank you for asking that question. Any more questions? Can you tell me how many syllables are in the word instrument? Practice those because that was a great question. So if you practice those larger multisyllabic words, because again, when we talked about our phonemic awareness, how all the sounds progress. So starting in kinder, they'll write a lot of one syllable words. And then it will start progressing where they'll want to write basketball and football. So then of two, and then it just progressed. So if we think about instrument, it will be instrument. So instrument is actually a 3-syllable word. So. Wait a little two. Is there any more questions about spelling and how? Okay. And how to connect, hearing the phonemes, writing your graphemes, making the letters, the sounds and the letters match to understanding the syllable. Okay. Definitely, if you have any questions, we're here. I'm here to answer any questions. If you have time, I have time. But definitely, we look forward to the next step. But here is our parent as a teacher tip for understanding spelling. Is just making sure that when your child begins to experience as emergent writers those larger words with multiple syllables, to break the word into syllables first with more than one syllable, and then write the individual sounds. Because, of course, if we're using the tapping, of course, our hands run out of fingers. We don't have, that many fingers, we can go across, but to help like an emergent writer, just begin with your syllables, have them break the first syllable apart, write it, and then the second syllable apart and write it to put it together. And just break it all apart for them. And just breaking that into syllables is a great way to break those larger words down. Check. So we have questions. Okay, that's okay. All right. We are here towards the end. We've talked about our phonics and our spelling today. I will be on if you have any additional questions. Just remember, we will continue the learning, and we're so excited about this opportunity to continue to have these Parent Classroom Academy times next semester. So please subscribe weekly to our companion activities, which you receive text message. And of course, the videos and everything that we've shared with you is at our Parent University website. And then just remember that today a reader, tomorrow a leader, and then kind of compare it to what we've learned today. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader, and a great communicator, because once they're fluent in their writing and their reading, they'll be able to communicate the things they've written and just communicate in general. So just thank you. I will be on for questions.